Between sunlight and quiet. They say love often shows up between the lines of everyday life, in moments you almost miss. This is the story of Nina and Eli. Nina worked at the city library. She shelved books, helped people find the stories they needed, all day surrounded by quiet and pages. She believed that sometimes words speak louder than actions. Eli was a street musician. Guitar in hand, he stood in the plaza just outside the library, playing songs that mixed hope and longing. He played in the afternoons, when sunlight pooled over the stones and people passed through on errands, hurrying but somehow turning to listen. One breezy afternoon in early summer, Nina was carrying a stack of books outside during her lunch break. She paused to listen. A song she knew. Eli was there, fingers on strings, singing softly. She recognized the song. It was one she had sung in her childhood. When the song ended, Nina came forward, shy. "Were you playing that song?" she asked. Eli looked up, surprised. "Yes. Do you know it?" She nodded, holding a small smile. "It reminds me of my mom's lullabies." They talked. For the rest of her lunch break, Nina stood there among the late spring blossoms as Eli told stories about his music, his dreams of composing for film, his favorite guitar. Nina told him about her favorite books, poetry, memoirs, stories of wanderers. By the time she went back to the library, they had made plans. She'd bring a poem the next day. He'd play it in song. Over weeks, that lunchtime meeting became routine. Nina would walk out with a poem in her pocket. Eli would have something new to play. Sometimes he'd compose a melody inspired by the words she read. Sometimes she'd write a poem inspired by his music's echo across the plaza. Nina introduced Eli to the library's quiet, hidden reading corners. Eli showed Nina how to listen to the wind, the footsteps, the laughter. She learned that his music reminded people of themselves, sometimes their joy, sometimes their grief. They shared simple moments, laughing when she tripped over her shoelaces, rainy afternoons when Eli found shelter under the library awning. Soft conversations over paper cups of coffee. Every moment small, every moment building. Then came the invitation. Eli was asked to join a traveling music ensemble. They would tour 5 smaller cities over 2 months. It was everything he wanted, an opportunity to have his songs heard, to grow. But it meant leaving the city, leaving Nina. Nina was happy for him, as happy as someone can be when the person they care about must go away. But she felt something in her chest tighten. The city without him would sound emptier. Eli tried to reassure her. "Music doesn't stop just because I leave," he said. She smiled bravely, nodding. "Promise me you'll write. Promise me you'll sing of what you see." He took her hand, the plaza light shining through leaves, golden. "I will," he promised. "But I'll miss you." Eli traveled. From city to city, hotel rooms to concert halls, customers applauding. Nights in cheap rooms with bar windows rattling. He missed the sound of library doors closing. He missed seeing a smile among morning light. Nina stayed. She worked endless days at the library. She carried his songs in her heart. She wrote poems inspired by postcards he sent, a stage in a small town, a moonlit hotel balcony, sunrise over mountains. She read them aloud to the empty library, imagining him listening somewhere. Their communication wavered, phone calls delayed, messages left unsaid. Some days felt like silence. After the tour, Eli returned. It was autumn. The plaza stones were cool, the leaves turning gold and rust. Nina stepped out at noon and saw him there already, guitar slung, rays of soft sunlight falling on his face. He smiled. She stood frozen for just a moment, then walked forward. Eli began to play. The song she used to love. Nina listened, tears in her eyes. When the song ended, they spoke in hushed voices, sharing all that had been in the silence. "Eli, everything I saw, I thought of you. Every stage, every crowd, but no applause meant as much as this moment. Nina, I kept your songs in my heart. I wrote poems under street lamps, in library stacks, waiting for you to come home." They didn't promise perfection. They promised presence. Nina gave Eli a poem she wrote. "Between sunlight and quiet, I found that love is patient. Love is the song you learn in absence. Love is the return." Eli offered her his music, a new melody written for her voice, for her laughter, her poems, the way she listens. They walked together through the city plaza, under falling leaves, shadows, and gold. They stopped at a bench. He sang softly. She recited a line. They watched light shift across the pavement, knowing that love like this, made of small schedule meetings, long distance, longing and return, is worth every moment. Love isn't always fireworks or big declarations. Often it's in the soft songs, the poems left unsaid, the missing, the return. Nina and Eli's story reminds us that true connection can bloom even in absence, and that coming back can be the bravest thing love asks of us.